July in the 2025s. Welcome to Phoenix Electra Circus. I am the host, Phoenix Electra, and I have one of my lovely assistants, the little man, the Biloo, the snack stealer, the thief himself. I'm being glowered at from this corner by the handsome, the most maxi pad, the fluffiest King Loki, and hey, Freya Froofers, I know it's helpful if I remember to use my behind me eyes in the monitor and make sure I count all of the kitties. Hey, Freya Froofers, I know your job is to just show up and look cute. How's everyone doing? Oh, you know what I didn't do? Did I check chat? Let me just clickety clackety here, make sure nobody's doing me dirty. Rumble Studio. I'm a fan, but also I will let my complaints be voiced. Welcome to the circus. Can I spell the U.S.? We got chat. Oh, lightning fast. The low latency on Rumble Studio. Ooh, even fast on the YouTube chat. Coming along. My project list, 5 gajillion miles long. We have new stuff cut. We have old stuff to finish. We've got I Get Bored, and we just do roll downs. We'll see what happens. Who knows? What? Oh, all the choices. So there we go. Cut into the brown roll yesterday. I have a pair of pants and a shirt. I cut sleeves, but I probably should have used the arm side from the pattern instead of just freeballing it. So we'll see if the arms actually fit in to these pieces. These were cut on the bias, the circle, so I cut them and they've been hanging since yesterday when I cut them to just let the material it just needs time to relax. It just needs time to relax. So there is that. The pants I don't think are... Oh, here. Let me poke myself with a pin. All right, I'm going to Where's the pants? All right. The top is with the pins. I don't need that section, but... So here we are, and they're kind of like at a T-length spot right now. Not completely keen on that. I'd like my pants to be a little bit longer. And I remembered that we have extra of the 10-inch red strips cut. I will add a rolled hem to one side only, and I will use the hem gauge as a get out of here measuring tool. A tool to put in pleats. But we will go away from ourselves. How are we going to... Brain, we know how to sew pleats. Why? Okay. And then we're going to use the tool to fold it somehow in a way... There we go. Underneath my... Pleat folding. It is a thing, and that made my brain hiccup. I already have a foot for... I don't have my ballpoint foot on. There's lots of stretchy stuff to sew. I figured out how I was going to manage the size issue with the pants. Sit there, good girl. I slashed them and thought that it would be fun to add gores of this fabric that we made the schmata out of. So I cut 4. I'm missing one, so I need to sew through stuff so that I can find my missing piece. Regardless, so that is that. And to ensure that the top is coordinating, and because I had tried a different sleeve detail. Where are we? There's the back. There's the front. The top that I have cut out in the blue, it's big, but it's a sweat. It's an overshirt, so we want it a little floofy. But I put in tried a poof sleeve, so then I gathered it in to the same purpley paisley stuff for the bottom of the wrist to nip it in a little bit. So super excited for that. So and I did cut velour pants. I triple checked to make sure that because this material also is only 2-way stretch. I stretched and ensured that I was cutting it on the stretchy side where I need it, which is the circumference way, not in the long way, because I don't need things any longer that way. So there's so much to sew. Let's see here. You know what to begin with? While I'm just thinking about it, let's just throw the rolled hem into all of these red sections. This is what I'd cut and had left over from roofling, the patchwork piece, which is also here because you remember I was like, oh, I'm going to need to sit quietly by myself and sew this piping down. Yeah, you know what I haven't done? Sat quietly by myself. So maybe, depending on how I feel, I'll work on that also. So there's a gajillions and gajillions of miles of projects that aren't going to sew themselves, but here we are. And hello, relax, welcome. Yep, there are cats. There's one cat. There's 2 cats. There's cats. How is your Sunday? The only problem with 3-day weekends is the next day they were like, oh, I finally have to go back to work. I mean, do I have to? Can I just hang out with cats and sew and stream all day? Is that a wrong lifestyle choice? But, oh well. So I'm doing some monotonous projecting right now. Rolled hems, I've got so many clothes to sew and so many ideas. Now that I've counted up and know that I've made 25 garments already for the year of the 2025, I feel like it's Monday. Yeah, I don't feel like it's Monday, thank goodness. Well, I shouldn't jinx myself. I have some loose threads that I'm just trimming because I needed to wash these pieces for reasons. So some of the edges are a little extra shaggy. And I am just going to put the rolled hem on one side because, as I was saying earlier, we're going to use the gauge to fold it to shrink it, because once that's done, I will put it on the bottom of the pants, and it'll be easier to do that if I do it first while it's flat, so I need to do this part first. Here we are. Rolled hems, my favorite. I love the narrow rolled hem foot. I'm just a huge stan. Oh, I'm like looking at stuff thinking it's cats, and it's just stuff, because you're in the camera. All right. I don't know what's happening anymore. Though, I guess I heard there was a parade that was interrupted by a group of pro-Palestinian, pro-Mexico. So that was a thing I heard about. Actually, that's horrible. The flooding in Texas and the flash flood at the summer camp with all the girls that got caught up. That's unimaginable. And then summer camp was never mentioned ever again. All right. I am just going to do all the rolled hems on all the pieces and just start gathering, because I'm fingers crossed that I have enough and I don't need to cut more to do this trim detail that I'm thinking of. So we'll see. If I need to, it's fine. It's not like I don't have enough. That is not the issue. But, oh my gosh, that's kind of what you can see. Yeah, this black lump that I keep thinking is cat is a giant, will be hugely overstuffed cushion table thing. Because scraps that I'm like, Patrick, I've got so many ideas for you little pieces, and I can't get rid of you yet. So I'm stuffing the giant pillow of my dreams. And then I know I have those pieces for when I'm ready to deal with them. But it helped me to see I'm down to just one giant tote and half a little tote, plus all the ones on the rolls that aren't in the tote. So that of longer yardages, those are the words. So that was helpful. Then I just need to not put myself in situations that might cause me to bring fabric home. So here's my that's my plan, and I think I can stick to it. Alright, where's an edge? It's nice to not have to think too hard about putting the rolled hems in this fabric, because the right side and the wrong side are exactly the same, so it don't matter. Which is great for hanging out with chat, which is just it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, so I think I've got like 10 projects slotted that we can rotate through. And if I get super bored, we can do art stitching. So we'll see what happens. What I do need to do is sit up straight and contemplate how to improve this piece, the quilted bodies, or whether I just want to do it again with a slightly different shape and a wee bit smaller. But I think, let's see here, that was a brief overview of the short-term projects. For the long-term things that my brain is conniving, I do need to fudge. Well, can I kick that bucket down the line? I'll have to try on the pink silk corset and see how that fits, because after putting on the blue riding corset, which was the one that I thought I was going to use, thought that I was going to take my measurements in so that we can finally get around to that stinking pin-tucked shirtwaist that we spent so many hours tucking. Oh, fluff me. That's a foot we need to break out again. But circle back, Phoenix, circle back. They're too big, so there's no point in cutting a shirt if I can't get the measurements right. Well, yeah. Forget that I can kind of mostly do. Never mind. We're just going to say I can't do it. I need to make another corset. Or I need to try out, actually, first. Yes, the answer is yes, Phoenix. I do need to make another corset, and I also need to try on the pink one that is also from the appropriate time period. There was also, as I mentioned, I am still in the process, because I haven't touched it in a while, of completing the missing piece problem for the 1840s stays, and soon that will be in the works, and then we can cut those out of the dandelion. So you remember I mentioned that I needed to wash all the wool, my skeins. Yeah, so I did that. For 2 nights, for 2 days and 2 nights, it has been drying, and I noticed this morning that some of the skeins bled into the linen, which is completely fine, and that I don't care about. Actually, it just made me laugh. So I was like, oh, you would have gotten rid of it. It had no Mars in it. The fabric was uniform and nice, no holes. Everything was great. Bring it home. And as the way of the Phoenix, make a new top, make something new, forget to wear a giant apron bib, and the first time you eat in said new beautiful thing, you will spill coffee on it, you will drop food on it. If you don't cover up. Yeah, I did that when I wore the color block geometric tunic top. Yeah, was drinking coffee. You know what I did? I dribbled coffee on it. Good times, good times. I blotted it off and I was like, fortunately, this outfit is in shades of coffee. So it'll just blend right in and everything will be right. Where are we stuck? Oh, it's you. You're the culprit. It's you. Alright. Rolled hemming goes by so fast now that I just get into the flow of it, and it just, hey, relax, you guys up there. Stop. Don't touch me like that. Drink some water, Phoenix. You're talking and it's dry. But, we're almost half out. So, I'll probably say it again because there's nobody here. But I am thinking that once a month we're going to we can do a call-in show, and people can call in through the Rumble studio and can have a few minutes to chit-chat. We won't keep, like 10, 15 minutes tops. Just call and hang out. And then possibly also audience submissions of pre-record little ditties of what they're working on, random thoughts, and then one Sunday a month we'll I'll mix it up. So I know there's nobody here to give me feedback. But I appreciate everybody. Gavo retweet, he rexed my stream. Oh, that's funny. Okay. And yeah, Putinbots Gaming for stopping by, and Relax, and Greg, and Horror, and Mario. So many folks. Synthtrax, Jada Delete, who keeps reading the channel randomly, left some of you Shlomos out here. You're like, you're dropping us where? And I appreciate that you keep coming back. But yeah, so we're just flying through the narrow roll tem. I should do the more fiddly bits. Well, there's nobody here, so I can pay more attention and don't have to reach out. But I like a good challenge, and sometimes I'm brave, and so without looking. Speaking of doing stuff bravely, so was it in the UK? Which ridiculous European place did somebody get cited for riding their bicycle hands-free? And they got cited for public safety or something. I was like, what is this? What is this? In the month of the Tour de France, it must have been England, because it wouldn't have been France. Oh god. Oh, Breen, that was funny too. Oh gosh. Then my brain fell into the hole of Tour de France, and where are the juiced Nigerian cyclists? Alright. Brain, you're redonkulous sometimes. Alright, back to roll timing. So I'll do all the roll timing, we'll do all the pleading, set those pieces aside. Actually, then what are you going to do then, Phoenix? Then I'm going to attach them to the bottom of the pant legs and stitch them down. We'll do right sides together, then finger press them so the seam is facing up, and top stitch them down. If we're feeling extra, then we'll add extra, but those are the next couple of steps that need to be worked through in the order of operations. So we'll do it again and again and again. Roll time and again and again. We like those good vibrations. Do, 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 do. Good vibrations. Do, do. Get it? It's a vibrating shuttle. Good vibrations. Oh, the jokes. The horror adorable. Where else can you get a show and a costume made all at the same time? I don't know. But I still don't understand. Oh, there's a lot I don't understand, Rumble. It's true. It's my stitch and bitch, Phoenix. I can bitch when I want to. It's true. It's true. Then also in my machinations of using up these pieces, because we also have the red top, and that would be a way. Well, we're just having more ways that we can interchange our separates, which is why I need to take the time to do lookbooks so I can not prattle so much that I forget to listen for when the bobbin runs out. There's nobody here to tell me. One bobbin down. Bobbin down. Bobbin down. We need a funky one. I'm going to be here for a while. But I did find the silver polish underneath the kitchen's underneath the kitchen sink as one keeps their silver polish. So maybe I'll rub up the bobbin shuttle. She just needs a little sprucing. And I've got a couple other pieces I can polish while I'm at it. Alright. Enough metal polishing talk. All that rubbing and burnishing. No, that's a different skill. Not brandishing. Alright, Phoenix, you're going nowhere. Stop touching me. Alright, what's going on? I'm just going to trim some of these threads a little shorter because I don't know who's going where. We're going all the wheres except for where we're supposed to be. Alright, let's remember this. These stitches aren't going to put themselves in. Nope. Okay, just a small pile to go. This is a pretty low stress on the rolled hem pile for today. Oh, literally like 2 more. Sweet, then we can get to the pleating. You know what I'll do when we get to the end? Let's count how many that we have. And the purpose is to, well, to know how many I have, silly. But those are the words. We'll split them into a pile of equal numbers, assuming that we're going to need equal numbers of whatever for each leg. See, gooder speakers. Oh, who would have guessed English was my first and is most language. Okay, be sometimes the sport of, are we going to get these ends wrapped up around the foot? The answer is always yes. But am I good about making sure I, avert the problem before it starts forcing me to make sure I don't stab myself again? Here we go. Alright, let's get back to stitching. Let me avert this disaster before it happens. So I've got this little floofy. I'm just gonna trim it so I don't roll over it. There's a couple. So while I'm stopped, let's just take care of those ones too. You're out of here. Get out. No, thank you. You've done your job. Move on to your next adventures. You know, there was something that my brain really needed to stuff all of the smaller cabbage and some bigger, to put a whole bunch of cabbage into doing something useful. It's really stressing me out. We did take the time to put them into trash bags, fill them up so that for floofing purposes, I just thought it would be easier. And if for whatever reason the outside cushion needs to be washed, I can just take out a number of bags instead of a giant heap of stuff. So I thought that was a good attempt at smartness. Oh. What do I need? Okay, let me... I keep shifting, and then I keep shifting back, so... Hey Mike, you really feel like you're in my tits. Alright, let's get our spider back. There we go. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, do whatever Spider-Man can. Ah, this feels better. Yeah, I've been sitting way too close to the wheel end, and I need to be at the head end. Yep. Alright, next. You're not a piece I need to sew right now. That leaves two last pieces. Alright, we are speeding along with this first round of rolled hemming. And I think once we get to the end, that will be it for the rolled hemming for now. Oh, this feels so... Jesus, Phoenix. Sitting in the wrong place for weeks now. Sit straight on. This end I need to pay attention to. I don't need to muck around with what's going on over at that end of the table. And I'm closer to chat. Oh, there is something wrong with the light. I think I need a new focus piece of paper. I don't know if that's wrong or whether my lens needs cleaning or something. I should blow out the guts over there. Though it is rather dark in here right now. Yeah, my brain is hoping that the 1840s stays are going to give those the hip compression. All right, because then there's those other ones that we tried that there was something wrong. We'll figure it out. It doesn't matter right now. I got enough stuff to work on. I think I'm going to be on the lookout actually for a small shelving unit that I can set inside the closet. So I can roll stuff, put it in bags, and smush it. Because there's some stuff that is just kind of heavy and takes up a lot of space. And the closet hanging them really is not the best storage. A, it takes up too much space, but B, it puts undue stress on the garments. And people didn't have hanging closets like we do today. I think they were in chests, bureaus, and chifforobe. Last one, huzzah! Oh, it's amazing how quick rolled hemming of a number of panels goes when it's not. 200 yards. Rolled hem. Good times. Yeah, because we sewed that panel skirt this year. Holy shit. We've sewed some amazing things already this year. I do have to say, oh, Phoenix. Just trim. You're holding it. You're like, it'll be all right this time. I don't really need to trim those edges. You know what? You really should. You really should trim those pieces. That also reminds me, when the next time I'm under the hood, we should give it a good brush down. Because I didn't when I pulled out the bobbin. Okay. Let's go. Let me just rethread the machine. And we're making good headway on this gray cone of thread. I know, you're like, Phoenix, looks like there's so much there. There is still so much there, but I notice that from when I started sewing with it, you've made a good dent. I don't know if this will be the year that it stitches its last stitch. There's probably 5,000 more yards of thread. Oops, excuse me. Yeah, there was great fun squishing up the bags for the giant pillow yesterday. It was a family affair. Alright, I've got my hem gauge for the next section of our next presser foot. Hey, don't go jumping around like that. There we go. I'm glad I'm so remembering that my bench is movable, and so is my fanny. The problem of Phoenix leaning is because we were sitting in the wrong spot. Because the treadle's going to move no matter which, and it's... silly goose. Silly goose. All right. I just trimmed up the last little bit of a section. Almost there with the rolled hem for today. Now it feels like it's a real show, because if it goes too many weeks between doing rolled hems, I ask myself, Phoenix, are you really a sewing channel? And I have to say, I don't know. We are a persistent channel. Tenacity of goat. Just keep going. Yeah, I want something that... Oh, we'll do those. Those have got the front. Okay, Phoenix. We know what we're sewing as far as undergarments next. All right, we have one panel. We have two panels. We have three. We have four. We have five. And we have 6 and 7. 7 panels. So we'll do 6 of them. We'll leave one unpleated. And then we'll lay them against the pant leg. I think I did maths. Where's the pants? There we go. So, Phoenix, lay it down. It'll be easier. Then you can... There, slide under there. Oh, use up the whole space there. Good girl. There, okay. I'm touching stuff, and then I'm misplacing it, as one Phoenix does. All right. So there's what it's gonna... Here's my pant leg. Here is red. Just trying to find the end. And at bottom of is going to be like this, with little pleats all the way around the bottom of the leg. So it's just going to give it a little kick out and add just a little bit of length. So once I get all the pleating done, I will pin it up there to this bottom edge all the way around. And then also up the side seam, because then I can include that strip into the side seam so it's contiguous. Then we'll sew pants like we always sew pants, one leg inside of the other. Just like you get into pants. One leg and then the other. All right, I do want the other end of this fabric so that the top side of the rolled hem is also the top side of the pleats. And let's rolled hem. There we go. Oh, change my feet. Ooh, that was my ruler. And I'm not going to worry about being right at the very edge. I'll either put in a... I'm probably just going to leave it. Okay. Let me get all warmed up here. All right. We're just going to talk through... Oh, so I'll just do... I'll put the hem gauge underneath. Oh! Is that what this... Are you freaking Is that... Am I just... Oh... Hello, Nasita. I'm gonna go with... Looks like flag material. It could be. Maybe even nicer, though. Possibly. Hello, welcome to the circus. I just had a revolutionary brain gasm, and I'm gonna use the slot in my rolled hem as like the little fork to put in these pleats as I sew 6 yards of pleats. It kind of feels a little bit plasticky. It could be flag material. Oh man. Yeah, it is something. It's been washed, dried, has a little bit of wrinkle, but not too bad. So nice travel material. Throw it in. I think the little wrinkles on the faux shot silk gives it a little character. Oh, Slater Days Gaming. Not sure why it's not causing my gaming channel login. Oh, hello, welcome. I have no idea what Rumble does and fluffs things up and makes me feel like I look bad. It wants us to check out your page. What? Yes. Oh my god. Oh man. Can Little Phoenix dream of a world that maybe one day even our little shit show would get a feature? Is it? Oh man. Well, hello, Slateries. FP and Synth give you high regards. Oh, they're so kind. Those boys are so nice. I just shit talk on Sundays and sew clothes. I make stuff. Yeah, yes. Oh, I know. Gaffa was. Oh no, Putinbot reposted yesterday. Yeah, that's something all these things, but that is very true. And that can get you up there. We're working on it. I know, because the like FP or what was it, FP or regardless, the way I love folks just randomly show up, get here, and you stay for the walls. You're like, what? That Phoenix, what a firecracker. Hello, sweet boy. It has been almost an hour. I know. Hello. Oh, the fluffy, sweet Loki thinks it's time for me to open up the concession stand. And he is right that we're almost at the hour mark for the show, where I'm either going to have to give in, or can we rustle up 10 more seats and filled under the tent? Loki really likes it when we can get 10 fannies in under the circus tent before he does his trips for snacks, because nobody eats for free at the circus. These are working cats. They're not just fluffy goofballs. Oh. Loki, do you have any comments for your fans? No, you're just gonna look out the window and hope that I give snacks. Well, we woke up this morning to some, I'm gonna guess, little shithead. Well, I guess the problem was me because I left the bag of snacks and the boys ate them all. They ate all the snacks. Bag chewed through, evidence everywhere. Oh, I probably should wait to stitch until the tail's out of my way. Can I slide this under there? Okay. So everybody's asking, Phoenix, why are you doing what you're doing? I'm crazy. And I like my clothes to be able to be seen from the nosebleed section, whether it's on stage, from the comfort of my living room studio, or in real life. It's got to be well made up close and far away. Because I have main character syndrome at the circus. That's why. This is my circus and I'm the star. And I think it's important that people that we remember how to dress. Not that I'm not sitting here sewing in my underwear yet again. But I am trying to get to making outer layers that are just as stunning as my underwear. Yeah, so this is just going to add a nice little ruffle and a little length to those pants. Plus, it'll coordinate with the red shirt to tie those two pieces together. I thought about adding some of the silver like is in the red top. I did think about making silver piping and said, I think this is going to be enough for right now. If I do need something else, I can sew a piece of ribbon trim on top, but for right now, this is good. This is not the most terrible thing. All right, let me move this around a little. Yeah, slide under the feet. I know, I'm so glad I made friends with that overcaster foot, because that is gonna cause me to go back through a number of previous made garments and send them to overcasting for seam treatment. All right, less problematic with this foot, but I'm just trimming up those stray pieces. Hey Loki, I see your fluffy tail. Hey Freya Froofers. You guys, where's the little poof? I don't know. Alright, we'll just wait a few more minutes. Just a little bit longer, boys. Boy. Can't have snacks yet. I'm not ready for dirty fingers. Oops. Okay, so I'm just putting the fabric into the slot, folding, catching the fabric on top towards me, folding towards the foot, holding with a finger, shoving down underneath the foot, maybe picking up the foot to get it, pinching everything firmly, then start the machine, stitch a little bit, and repeat. End result going to be spectacular. Doing slightly painful, but worth it, because where else can I find trim like this? You can't. I wanted it, I made it. I wanted it, I made it. You ready, Loki? If you could, can I get a right meow? Here. Here, do it into the microphone. Can I get a right meow? Okay. He says, right meow, I should dole out snacks. So I'm gonna listen to the cat. I need to stretch my legs. Oh, I will listen to sweet Loki. All right, get to your mark. Oh, good job. Oh, here comes trouble. All right, Loki, there's one for you. Good job, boys. All right, Freya Furfurs, let me... Here, you have your snacks there. So, hey, Loki, those are not your snacks. No, those are not yours. Yeah, don't put my cat finger into my water glass. All right. All right, Trouble. All right, Loki. Loki, are you ready? We have to do our tricks. Can we get 3 loop-de-loops? Loki? Loki? What's going on, dude? Here, Loki. Come here. Let's do our tricks. Loki, you're making me look bad on camera. Again. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Oh, little man, I need you to learn those tricks. All right. Can we do it again? Let's do it again. 1, 2. Come on. Loki, don't be distracted by the snacks over there. You are so smart. All right, 1 more. 2 more. Oh. Yeah, clean those fingers. All right. The concession stand is now closed. Cats have had snacks. All right. Back to work. Snack time's over. That's it. That's it. All right, I guess it's not quite back to work yet. My bench has been commandeered by the cat. Okay, so what else can I show off? Here's what the pleats are looking like. Can't pull it closer to the camera because I don't have enough sewn, but it's like the ruffler foot, but on a larger scale. I did hear rumors that they had a foot that does this, but I'm gonna go with just use the hem gauge. It is a jack of all tools. Cannot complain. Is this the piece I was looking for? 2, 3, I don't know. All right. I got pieces of projects everywhere. Little dude. Oh my god. You're the fattest, sveltest cat of the block. Don't be mean to her. Don't make me give you a knife hand. All right. Let's get back to stitches. Oh, did I make sure I thumbed down my own show? Did I do that? Let's see here. I didn't. All right, fixed. Good job. All right. Back to putting in these pleats. Do I always over embellish? Well, not always. Sometimes we do. Like the maroon pants I have cut, we're just going to do those plain for right now. Mostly because I just want a new pair of velour stretchy leggings. It's been a while. It's been a while. Oh, Phoenix Nick Fury gets stuff stuck in my head. We'll see. We shall see again. Oh, what? Phoenix, you should really stop rambling like that. It's a siesta. Yeah, so this part of these pants is just slow going. Even if you did have an electric machine, folding each of the pleats one at a time like this, it just takes time and you can't do it while the machine's running. Just can't do it fast enough. And I didn't bother to put in the rolled hem at the side where I'm putting the pleats because it's all going to get caught up in the seam finishings once I attach them to the pant legs, so it's fine. It's going to be stitched now. It's going to have the top stitching, and yeah, so there'll be at least 3 layers of stitches going over these pleats at least when all is said and done. So that is the plan of attack. And then we just keep along until the piles. It's just a small pile, Phoenix. It's not. It's just a small pile of ruffles. It's not a gigantic pile of ruffles. And because I didn't do pleat maths, I hope I have enough. And again, if I don't, it doesn't matter. I got more of this fat. We can repeat all of these steps. Oh, what fiddly business. Pleat maker 5,000. The fastest, bestest way to put up for all of your pleating needs. Order yours today at 555 pleat. Oh, come on. So the only other hard part is trying to make sure that I'm catching all of the layers of fabric evenly and not like driving over the edge and not catching something, which is also good that we're going to add so many more layers of reinforcing stitches because these don't hurt. These don't lose by more rows of stitching. Okay. There we go. Oh, actually, brilliant. So these fabrics are cut from selvage to selvage, and I am going to just hide the join section in a pleat. So it'll just be a little... Okay. I'm gonna just nub you close. And then... No. Okay, Phoenix. I'm going to put it down, advance 1 stitch, 2 stitches, so that I've got all the layers sandwiched together. Now I can just continue pleating. That's it. Phoenix, sometimes it sounds like you actually know what you're talking about. Don't let me mislead you, boys and girls. I am not trained how to do this. I just am not afraid to fail at it on the internet live. And I enjoy hanging out with chat. Or chatting at chat, whichever the case may be. But also, I've been told we're good company for workers and lurkers, so I am not. That's almost a higher compliment. But Chappy's fun. Chat's how I learn things. Or get corrected on things. Oh, do we need an icebreaker? Do we need a conversation starter? Is cereal a soup? All right, duke it out in the duke it out chat. Is cereal a soup? And I'm not worrying too much that everything is like exactly exact. It's gonna be mostly within the margin of error, and I'm just not that worried about it. It's gonna be fine. As always with a lot of the things we do around here, I have to remind myself, Phoenix, there's so much going on that if somebody besides any of us here who are now watching while I do flub ups live that I don't fix later in post garment checking, if people are looking that close, unless I've entered it into a competition, which I will never be able to enter the Foundations Revealed competition. Oh, all those poor makers who had been toiling away at their 2025 Foundations Revealed competition costumes. Oh, that is an empty glass of water. Oops. That's kind of sad. So, for those of you actually, based on where folks are tuning in from, you probably have never heard, or like, Phoenix, what WTF are you talking about? Foundations? What? This isn't a house building channel. No, it's not. So, there was a company called Foundations Revealed that sold subscriptions for ongoing education in historical garment construction. Yeah, yes, that's a good. I'll go with that descriptor. And I don't know, for a number of years, beginning at some point that I don't know the date to, they also had a costume competition with 5 or 6 different levels of construction experience, ranging from novice to this is my day. This is how sewing and costume construction is how I make my day. Is my day job level of experience. And yeah, so earlier, and last year, for a number of years, the previous owner, Kathy Hay, tended the company for 14 years. Had some stuff, made some changes, and after a while was able to, well, she successfully sold the business, and then now the business is going out of, will no longer be trading. So that's just a thing. And I toyed around for a number of the past couple of years of entering said competition. Just because it's hard when you get to a point in your life where everything it's like, what, meaningful goals and challenges, you have to make them yourself, which is why I make stuff and share it. Oops. And sometimes I drive the machine backwards, even though I tell it that's not the right way. Oh, fluff muffins. You know what's going to really make this even more nice looking is after I press it. If I sew right on the seams, okay. I will press it, but I think I'm going to press it after it's attached to the bottom of the pants, and then before I do the top stitching, that's when I'll break out the iron. Okay, we're all threaded and didn't break anything. Just double checking after I tried to. Nope, just go the direction I tell you to, and that wasn't it, baby. Let me get the next end here. The next ender. Was this the second one we did? So we're on 3, so we're just about halfway done with this portion. Oops, don't scratch. There we go. Just gonna be extra. There we go. We've crossed the seams. Let's do some project management. Hey, it's all good, Freya Fruifers. I know we've all seen Freya Fruifers and Loki. They're litter mates. He's fluffy, extra fingered, and fluffy, and she's not. They came as a set from the special kitty room at the back of the shelter. They were too fragile for Gen Pop Cat. I'll have to go out before they get too dry to the cherry tree. We already got a giant bowl of cherries and devoured it, and it's been a couple days, so we'll see what the birds left us, and to remember to bring out the ladder so that we can get some more of the higher cherries. Oh, so good. Cherries straight off the tree, and the way they make the staining that happens. All the beauteous colorists. Alright. Let's prattle on while we continue pleating, because we've got this one. We've got this much left. Yeah. So we're getting there. We're getting there. This is the part in all those beautiful curated videos of sewing that people either speed through at like 500 times speed or just don't include because it's It's just so riveting, but I take the time to demystify failing at sewing live on the internet. I do it so you can be inspired to just make stuff too, because I do feel like I'm on a mission to just encourage and remind people to do stuff with your hands. I don't care if it's even just like scribbling the grocery list on real paper with a real writing utensil. To just don't forget to do stuff with your hands. And I see you boys, you're like, yeah, we do stuff with our hands. Not just that. And girls, you do that stuff with your hands too. I mean, never mind. I don't need to say it again. What I do need is to trim these. There we go. And I'm also just using the edge of the seam gauge, hem gauge, to just... Ooh, we were cutting it a little close there. Jeez. You know what? I think I'm actually... Oh, we're going to say these words, aren't we? This needs to be pressed before I attach it to the bottom of the legs. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I should have muted for your ear holes. I apologize. I cut it a little bit close on some of these pleats, and I think it would be nice also... Oh, fudge me. It would... No, it's going to be fine. I am going to press it, but at the end, like I said, I'm not pressing it twice. And Alibaba's not here to shame me into it, so I'm going to live recklessly. So I recognize I need to leave just a little bit more on the right-hand side for a seam allowance for attaching, because I've sewn stuff a couple kind of precariously close to the edge, and that for a good quality garment does not make. Let's trim these threads. Get out of here. Done. Alright, just a little bit. Just a little bit longer. Do, 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 do. Just a little bit longer. Do, 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 do. See, oh no, there's no way to really get into a roll without stopping in between. Maybe there is, and it just takes more practice. I don't think I'm there yet. Okay. Up, squish down. Fold in, tuck around. Alright. And onwards. Okay, sit up straight, smile, don't have sewer face. School y'all face. Do something. Just don't stare open-mouthed in profile or straight on to the camera. Nobody needs to see you catching flies with your open craw. Okay. That's better. Now I'm curious if this is faster or slower than using that other attachment, but it doesn't matter. I wanted to do it this way this time. Give my ruffler foot a rest because she gets a lot of attention. Phoenix loves ruffles. Okay, I'm almost at the edge of this one. We'll get the next. Where's the edge to the next piece? There you go. Here, you over here, over there. Oh, that. Ooh, Phoenix. That was really bad. Okay, we'll just catch this next one, and now we'll get. And I did that the last couple times. I just take the very edge of the next section and line it up with the pleat from the previous section with the current working piece on top of the up and coming working piece. Got that? Yeah. Trying to be. Let the folks at home know what we're doing. What are you doing, Phoenix? I'm doing trim for a pair of pants. Yep. That is my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I'm being extra generous where the joins are because there's like 4 layers, 8. There's a lot of layers of fabric. And I need them all to be stitched over as uniformly as I can make that happen. All right, let's free some threads. Oh, okay, we're almost there, Phoenix. We're almost there. Then, we've done 2. Let's jump. Okay, got enough where I can hold. I can get you get closer in here. Yeah. So we sewed these little together things. Obviously, these little together things. What I'm going to do real quick is take a pant leg and gently walk it around the ruffle we just made so I can get a sense. Well, that wasn't the right side. That walk ended very quickly. I was like, this can't be right. Okay. Because maybe, well, I don't know. It's always a surprise when when I make a whole bunch of trim and I just like magically have enough. Though frequently it's, Phoenix, get back to work. You've yet again grossly underestimated how much you need. Okay, so I'm just pinching the edges together. Like alright, don't slide on the bench. Okay, be free. You're like 4 to 6 inches. And let's see here, I'm almost there. So that, and we just changed, so that was, it's going to be about 3 per each. And I have 7, so I'm going to pleat up 6 of them. Okay, good. And I will have a little extra. Could we get away with 5? No, I'm just going to do 6, and I'm going to have a little left over, and that is the way I want it. Because then it can go into my container of trim that I made from other projects, which I need to make sure I roll those because I keep accidentally pulling on ruffle bands and breaking the stitches. Yeah. They gotta be nicer to some of the in-between layers because they're kind of fragile when they just have 1 row of stitches and I can't yank on them. Oh, it's a good thing I didn't get startled during today's show like yesterday. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, who needs to still be blowing off fireworks? Okay, so there's the done pile that's in the way of my... There we go. There's my slightly cleaner workstation. You know, part of the other thing for the cabbage patch was when my brain was like, oh, Phoenix, I was having hoarder brain issues. So I was like, all right, just do something with it. So you can see your other stuff and figure out what to do. But when I'm so overwhelmed I can't see, then I drive backwards and get grumpy. Trim, 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 trimity, trim, trimity, trim, trim, trim. I will trim that just for you. Oh, I should be not bend too tight. My strength is deceiving how. Okay. I'm bending it. Gotta be more gentle. Some of these tools are 126 years old. I'm looking at you, sewing machine. Or was it 18? I can't remember. 19, whatever. She old. But she's a rock star. Actually, she's a sphinx. That's what she's got on her decal. Alright, Phoenix, you're just blabbering now. Trim and get these pleats placed so we can have the perfect pleated pair of pantaloons that I ever did stitch live. Oh, what's for lunch? I'm hungry. Sausage and cabbage? I don't know. We'll have to think about that. Trim, trim. This pleating is not taking forever, and I was actually pretty good with the pleat math, so I thought, oh, Allie's school does, and it's a good rule of thumb. When you're doing to have at least 3 times what the finished length needed in cut yards. 2.5 generally gets you there, except for the stuff where it doesn't, so it's just easier to do 3 times the length. Because you never hurt by having extra trim, do you? I'm just saving it for later. What project? Whatever it decides to, however it's going to live its best life. Oops. And the regular beating of the microphone stand. All right, we'll get to like actual garments in just a few more yards. Yeah, we're that good. We're that thrilling. Phoenix. What else was there that was silly? There was nothing. It's okay. We're almost done with this one. Oh, this is going by pretty quick feeling. I guess anything's quicker when we've done ones that were just felt like grudging forever. Only 6 yards is pretty quick. It's this pleating technique that my fingers are just fumbling. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm gonna figure it out. And that's just not true. You'll Mr. Sun, I'm Mr. Heat Miser, I'm Mr. 101. Alright, next piece, please. Please. Alright, wow, we are just... Phoenix, get back to the sewing part of the show and not the torturing people's ear holes section. You're so mean. You're so mean to your audience. Alright, there we go. We are just continuing. Soon this part will be over, I promise, boys and girls. Because now that I'm stuck in, I gotta finish. And boy, do I wish I was done right now. But this level is not over yet. Alright, so in just a few more yards, this will be attached to the pants portion, or each of the 2 legs, because fortunately I get to make pants with 2 legs for myself still. And then we'll sew a crotch seam. Did I decide on a seam finishing for this project? I don't think so. French seams, flat seams. Well, I guess it's just as well that I'm not to the seam finishing section, so I don't need to know yet. Actually, I'm not even to the part of sewing seams, so we're really not there yet. I could do French seam. Oh, it does. I don't know yet. And I shouldn't be bantering about words that I'm not going to describe in more detail right now, because I don't want chat to be like, what is she blabbering out now? Because I know that's what you're all thinking. Or most of you. I don't know who's working and who's lurking. Hey, dude. I got a cat chair pile up. those two won't sleep together, but they do like Loki likes sleeping underneath the rocker, and Little Man likes to sleep on the cushion of the rocker. They're not ready after almost 2 years to curl up together, but they are almost curled up. Or especially when they're trying to share the space underneath the fan, because they're hot. Oops. Alright. Almost there. Almost there in like another... Oh, this is super slow. Maybe we can get done with this part by 2 o'clock. That would be really awesome. Alright, Phoenix, stop. Nobody's talking to you right now, so we'll just take a second to just quietly blow through this piece. We can just have the sweet sounds of the sewing machine. Oh, we are in the... Okay. Phoenix, just calmly get through this. The end is nigh. I know, I'm curious in my brain how many hours of sewing I think I actually have prepped that I could work on today. Partly it depends on how much ping, how Hop and Chad is. But today it's one of those slow weekends, but that's fine. It's not a pity party. This is the Stitchin' Bitch. But yeah, I'll randomly talk about it, but I think next weekend I'll leave the link in the... We'll pin a chat and... We'll see if we get some fish to bite. Okay, I think we just have 1 or 2 more panels to go. Yeah, alright, this is the last one, folks. Oh, thank God. I know, one of these I'll probably just go through and slice up a whole bunch of strip panels for Notion work and just do all the rolled hemming and then figure out so that we can have just like 500 yards of different trims all pre-stitched and ready for them to take on their final form without the pressure of like, and you have to make this much for this thing. Sometimes I just shop my stash and be like, I have this much stuff. Is that enough? Sometimes I just like to make the pieces and not worry about how I'm going to use it at the end. Because that part, I always fit it. Something always comes to me. Like all the Irish crochet motifs that I spent years making. Just because I like the practice of the making of that piece. And now my brain is like, I know your next form. And it is grand. Soon, just a few more minutes, folks, we will be able to stop seeing red. Please, no bulls come at me. Don't rush at me. I'm not the... No rodeo clowns, no bull... Oh, I guess we could do rodeo clowns. Those pants that we wore last week, those would have worked for rodeo clown pants, but I unpicked that waistband to make them more flattering, because full clown pants they had been. Yeah, I'm gonna have to... I keep saying it. One of these days, Phoenix, you really are gonna have to do it. Take your clothes out of the closet and film yourself a fashion show. Just so I remember what all the amazing things we've made. All the corsets we've stitched over the years. I keep coming back to them. They just taunt me, but I want one that has a little bit more support around the hips to help hold things in right here a little. Because all of my exoskeletons that I've created thus far, there's just something missing in the support level that just leaves something to be desired. All right. So close. We're so close to seeing a pair of pants. Yeah, you don't believe me? There's going to be pants. I'm sewing pants. And a shirt. Maybe 2 pairs of pants. And a hoodie. No, it's just a sweatshirt, Phoenix. There's no hood. It's not a hoodie. Unless it has a hood, kid. I keep wanting to call it a hoodie, so then I'm like, do I just need to add a hood so I can be truthful, or do I just train myself for that blue one that it's just a sweatshirt and it's fine? We'll figure it out. It's cool. Do, 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 do. Okay, just a few more pleats to go. Just a little bit longer now. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do, Inspector. Do, 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 do. Inspector Gadget. Let's go. All right. All the gadgets, all the tools. Oh, I was so hoping Alibaba was going to be here because freaking Fred Sanford has got a couple of feet for sale for $5 a piece, and some of them I think I know what they are and kind of want them, but I haven't looked to see A, if they've been sold yet, and B, do I really need them? Well, that's a thing. Okay. All right. Just being distracted. Sometimes I get easily distracted by shiny things and pretty sounds. Or if somebody says free fabric, sparkles, rhinestones, notions. Oh, that's the other thing. We haven't picked out our annual project of Phoenix Gets Into the E6000. And I know there's quite a few newbies around. You may not heard of this Phoenix. What's E6000? Well, let me say it is industrial strength rhinestone and sequin glue. And you know what also it has because it's super strong glue? It after a while, sometimes you even taste the glue. So I have to wait for that show until it's warm enough and that I've got all the fans going because you can scroll back through the catalog, but yeah, those shows are generally quite memorable. Oh, wowie wowie. The first time we made poofy pumpkin pants. All right, I have pleats, so now I can take a pant leg. And so here's the waist, here's the crotch section, and downstairs, this piece needs ruffles, pleats pinned perfectly. And now that perfect pleats have been placed, I can do that. No, but I want the other end. So I want to be able to sew the pleats on top so I can use what? Why is this so confusing? I want this piece to be here. So which corresponding bottom piece do I need to be there also with it? This one. No, but I want the other. Why is this so confusing sometimes? Okay. This piece. I want you there like that. I want red end to brown base. And I want no, I did have the right end because I want right sides together. There we go. There's the right side, there's the wrong side up. It doesn't matter. It's gonna sew. I'm overthinking this. It's not that complicated, Phoenix. Except it's bugging me. It's not really that big of a deal, except that in my head right now, it's the most. I'm not gonna be like oh, finally. That's the wrong side, and I need it to. All right, eventually we'll be able to figure this out. It's sometimes every time you sew is the first time. There we go. Okay, finally. That was a painful process. I've got right sides together. And I probably should put some pins in, but yeah. We only pin if we absolutely need to. But when I pin, I really needed to put those pins in. There we go. So then when it's down, there we go. So I did take my back stitch as I usually do. I'm being kind of generous, placing the red pleated piece onto the brown pant leg, which is fine because I can use the extra brown to tidy up on the inside of all where the red is, and I'm adding it because it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. Oh, you know what I also did? Well, we'll get there when we get there. I haven't sorted out the waistband section yet, but I got time for that. We don't have all these things. Some stuff I need to know right now for this project, and other things, that's for when I get to that step to be determined. So just hold your horses on, and let me get this pleated piece perfectly placed onto this pant leg. Being careful to not stitch more than the layers that I'm supposed to be stitching, because there's already quite a few layers where the pleats have been placed. And I spent an embarrassingly long time unpicking yesterday's show, but there we have it. You can start to see the final form. There is pant pleat to brown pant leg. Ooh, what flavor bubbles? I don't think he's listening to me. That's fine. You boys had snacks. Don't. And you broke into the snack sack overnight. So the answer is still no. Okay, I see. I'm just gonna just judge this pleat as I'm stitching it down, because something was not right when that portion was first pleated. It was precarious. Today's show was brought to you by the letter P. Yikes. That section had some thickness with the triple C thick. Oh. It is evolving. It's true. It is alive. All these little pieces just slowly come together as I try to. Phoenix learns how to use mice. It's going to be so fun. Oh, and then I've got a brown shirt, the red shirt. So many cute coordinating outfits we can have. I kind of like the brown with the red. They robbed the snack sack got robbed. Yeah, it got thrown out, but there was remnants of it on the floor this morning. The bag just had giant claw marks. It was, yep. There was a break-in at the concession stand overnight. And the culprit is right there. You did it. I see your face. Yeah, I know the looks of a guilty cat when I see it. Trouble. As if they don't have enough food and snacks and loving. They gotta go. Ugh. I have cat break-in fatigue. I can't believe I'm so over all of the cat break-ins. All the cat burglars. We just want our snacks. We just came because we did not get enough mice. We are entitled to all those mice and all those snacks. How dare you leave us for more than half an hour with an empty food bowl? We need reparations. You're starving us. You'll make us work. I hope we are not on the verge of another pussy riot. I don't think we can handle another catastrophe like that. The last one was just too heartbreaking. Especially finding out that they had papers and were wanted in other jurisdictions. Such a disaster. Such a tragedy. Oh, these pants are not going to be a tragedy unless they are. These could be horrible. Alright, but that's on brand. Okay, I just have a little bit more on this leg, then I can do a little snippity doo-dah. We can do a little finger pressing, and yeah, let's just do the top stitching on this leg while we're here, because then that part will be all finny. We can do this to the second leg. Oh, we're so close. Oh, we're at the part where Phoenix needs to remind herself to go slow down just a little bit, because if we start rush seeing the end in sight, there will be a fuck up. Can't get too excited seeing the final inches in sight. Okay. Oh, I see it. Okay. Oh, hold on to your pockets, boys and girls. Oh, careful of that pleat placement. I almost made a disaster again. Oh. Yeah. I was paying attention to one part, and then my seam allowance were kind of driving off the rails in all the ways. Yikes. Ooh, there is the oh, that kind of blows. Oh, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sew the other pant leg from the other end. We'll figure out if we don't have a brain larfer narfer. Because I'm just kind of I'm stressing about cutting it over the pleat and that whole piece coming undone. So I'm gonna wait to cut it until I'm ready to put that side seam in. Okay, I've got a plan. We can do this. It's alright to use our 22 plus decades of sewing practice. You don't need to be professionally trained, but if you've been doing something for 20 years, you've learned a few things along the way. And you've had a lot of failures. All right, let's see what this pant leg looks like. One. Oh. Oh, thank you, T-Man. Oops, I'm throwing my mouse around again. Okay. Here we go. So I'll just do a little finger pressing, do a top stitch. Oh. Is that a skirt? No, that's a pant leg. Because we have poofy pants. Because that's what we're sewing. Okay. After a sip of tea, I'm going to get my pressing rock and my finger, and we'll just press that seam up nicely, stitch it down, and then sew the side seam together, and then rinse and repeat on the other leg. Yuppers. Alright, so I'm going to find the inside again. Yeah, so here's where I attached the two panels together, and I needed like 2 inches. So I'm just gently pulling the brown up and smushing the red. This is where you could, and many would argue, recommend that you take out your iron and heat press it, but we live recklessly sometimes. Not so reckless that we don't press, we just do it our own way. Oh, you know, you know what? Let's do it. All right. So what my brain decided, before we stitch down, we're going to carefully run this seam through the overcaster attachment because it looks a little shreddy in there, and I am enamored with most of my vintage tools, this one included. So let's change out my feet. Put this one locked and loaded. Oh, wow, Phoenix, you need to torturing your fans. People show up, but not to hear you're singing like that, kid. Alright, somehow I've got extra screws. I don't know how that happened. Alright. We are lined up. The threads are out of the way. I was very careful to make sure I practice good thread management with this attachment because I don't want stuff getting caught up anywhere. So I'm just going to, along the edge, going to take the edge that I just stitched and stuff it in the spoon here. Nice and lined up so that the seam is perpendicular to the bed of the machine. And then just gonna run my straight line. Carefully. Oh, get in there. And this is kind of heavy, so I'm just being careful. I don't want, it does not behoove you to force the fabric with this attachment. That needs to just do its stuff. Your job right now is just fabric management, that everything is lined up and being fed appropriately through the attachment. That is your mission for this stage. Oh. Don't get the spoons caught up in the pleats. This is not a timed mission. This is a skills challenge. Okay. And this just is an easy way to encapsulate all the raw edges, and then I can stitch them flat. And that'll just help secure everything. And just make sure that the inside is just as nice as the outside, and that there's no raw edges, nothing loose, hangy abouty in there, just up to no. Can't have stuff being hooligans inside your clothes. Don't hide hooligans in there. Yikes. Oh, the contrast colors on these threads make this part look super. Oh my gosh. Just hold your horses. I will be at the end, and then I can show off this stitch that I am so excited. Okay, don't get too excited. Just stitch it better. Oh, fuck me. No. There we go. This is extra precarious because cannot have the pleats getting stuck around the arm of the tool. This is good. I get to mix up and do a couple of different steps for each piece of this project. Okay. Ooh, that's a fatty. Just slide through gently, baby. You can do it. You can take the girth. All right. There's just a lot of bulk on some of these sections, and I just like to sweet talk my old-fashioned attachments sometimes. You just gotta talk nice to them, because okay, almost towards the edge of this leg. Do I see the edges? Okay, there is an end in sight, boys and girls. Deep breath. Happy stitches. Happy little stitches. Alright, I was just double checking the edge of the fabric because I don't want the attachment to just grind against the feed dogs underneath. Yeah, it'll be good to stitch this down on the inside once we're done this part. There's a couple sections that are a little questionable, but it's okay. It's okay. Oops. Oh, there. Who didn't let me know that I was gonna hit my head into the microphone? Guys. Okay, just quadruple checking the down. Oh, the cat. They're all outside. I'm like, everybody, it's so quiet. It's because they all left me to my own poor lonesome. Oh, lonely Phoenix. Oh, how dare they? How dare they? Oh, fluff nuts. Okay. This part is kind of precarious, as most of our projects have a spot that are like, oh shit. Phoenix questions her life choices yet again. Okay. It's like something stuck somewhere. Oh, because it is. Tonight. It's alright, Phoenix. It's alright. It's not the end of the world. It's just a seam finish, and we are sucking it. I think we've utterly, horribly failed this skills challenge. And we've got grinding. Ugh. And this is how you not get best results. grind like that. You're grinding my gears. Yikes. All right, almost there. Just this much left. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit longer. Oh no, we don't need to sing that song. God damn. Okay. Okay, there, we're back in stitches. Come on, snitches. You need some fresh stitches. Alright, we almost have a pant leg with ruffles. I promise. Okay. The end is just so close. Okay. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Alright, kids. Oh, yeah. We made it to the end finally. Oh, thank God. Alright, so let me... What we did this toss around was those little V's. That's what we stitched that time around. We just got all those little V's in there. And now I could just leave them like that. We could, but what I think I'm going to do is gently along the lines that we've already stitched, stitch it one more time. Just to quadruply hold everything in place there for good practices. Best practice sewing. Reinforce your seams, so sew it a gajillion times. Okay, we'll put you back in your little house. So we won't need you for a couple of steps. Thank you, Overcaster Attachment. You're my friend. Alright, you go back to your box in your drawer. We'll go get a regular foot back and our regular screw. Ooh. And it's a good chance to just double check the tautness on the needle screw, because those types of attachments that the arm cuffs the needle, sometimes it just takes your needle with it. Where's my bobbin thread? Ooh. Alright, oh, come on. Oh, you know what? Who remembers? What did we need to do the next time we opened this? Yep, broom. Broom it out, boys and girls. Get the dust. Dust over your feed dogs. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Okay. Because you don't need to change your needle every time. But if you need to be on with the bobbin, you should give it a good brush out. Oops. Okay, slide you back in place. And I think I'm just going to stitch this from the inside very carefully. I tied everything. My brain is thinking about what color ribbon we're going to gently stitch on the top side to hide this line of stitches I'm putting in right now. Good. Thanks, Rumble. You guys are crushing it today. YouTube's been a little flighty, but hearts, Rumblers. Thanks for stopping by the circus. For all your Saturday, Sunday sleeping and stitching needs. Do you need a nap? Put us on. But it's not a way to get chat numbers, but and is a good way to scare off the audience. Guess they thought it really was a good time to take a nap. Alright, so once I finish this line of stitches, then I can sew a tube and have a whole pant leg. And then we'll repeat all of these steps on the other pant leg. So then we can stitch them together and have a whole pair of pants. Fancy that. Okay, just traveling along all the stitches we've already stitched before. Okay, we're almost back at the beginning or the end. Yes. Alright. Let's get ready to stitch it. So what are you working on? No, that's what I thought. It's just one of those days. Those lazy Sundays. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Almost there. And before I do the side seam, I will carefully and deftly trim off the extra from the pleated portion, set that aside for the next leg, and did I decide what type of seam we're gonna do? Let's do a scant French seam, maybe. Maybe so. And I'm just massaging the pleats downward. I'm just fondling the floofs. Since the felines went outside and I can't pet them. They're not. Oh, hey, Freya Froofers. There is a feline friend. Hey, fancy you, Freya Froo. Okay, backstitch complete. While we're here, because I did a terrible job trimming as I went along. There we go. Just get all those extras. So this last line of stitching, did it, and I did a pretty good job. So this is the right side. You can kind of see where we stitched everything down. If I'm feeling extra, I'll take a piece of ribbon and we'll just stitch over that line so you can't see it. If I also know nobody's going to be that close into my knickers, so it doesn't really matter. This next part is going to be a little... You just have to be brave and get out the big snips. Okay. I'm just gently... Oh, you know what? Maybe... Okay. So I found a section. There's a pleat just over... So I'm just gonna trim just past that and straight down. Yikes. And it looks like I trimmed that with a hacksaw. Oh, forget that looks ugly. Alright, French seam. Is that what I want to do? Not really. Why don't I want to do that? Phoenix, you need some type of a seam finish. What are you going to do? French seam. All right, stop dilly-dallying. Turn it the opposite way around, and we're going to stitch a scant 1/4 inch line. Okay, there's 2 layers of fabric. All right. Stitch down this leg to make one tube for my leg. Oops, don't pull like that. There we go, baby. So I'm sewing the wrong sides together, then we'll turn it inside out so the right sides together. That will be our seam finish. Bing, bang, boom. I don't know, I was worried about the waistband being too small, but I can always cut it a little bit deeper if I'm too fat to fit in right now. But I don't think I am, but you never know. But we can fix it. Okay, just drive the correct direction, boys and girls. Don't drive backwards. It's not safe. Jesus, I should have started with the shirt. I've got second leg syndrome. I want this whole project to be done, and now I've got to rinse and repeat on the other leg. Alright, stop whining, kid. You're the one who decided you were going to sew this, and you need to live with the choices of your... Live with your choices. Okay. For the sake of my wardrobe, I will complete this mission. My wardrobe needs it so bad. These preposterous pants. All right, because this is a little fluffy and funny, I'm going to trim nicely, take my big snips, and just trim off this furry section where it's differently colored. All right. So I'm going to lay this flat in front of me, move my threads, and very carefully, because if you are not careful during this section, there is great risk that you will accidentally trim one of the threads you just stitched. You know what's a disaster? Cutting one of those threads you just stitched. So very carefully, I'm going to just leave the bottom of the scissors on the table. So we don't want free balling shears right now. You want to know exactly where they are. And I'm going to trim to about 3-ish millimeters away. Yikes. Phoenix, you just said keep your shears on the table. Why are you free shearing it? Because sometimes we're do as I say and not as I stitch, but I know that the results are better this way. Ooh, that was a big bit. Okay. Gently now. We're in the home. We've turned into the poopy brown section. Yeah, I guess the next couple of shows are just going to be potpourris because I've got so much stuff I want to make, so much stuff cut, so many notions. I perpetually underestimate how long it takes me to get anything done, but that's fine. I got material for years. I just tried to float fluff into my drink. That was gross. All right, so I've got one line done. I'm going to turn it inside out and stitch it again. I'm just going to take my fingers and press, schmuggle along the line. And what I mean by that is 2 fingers, pinchy, pinchy. There you go, slidey, slidey. Just along where I just stitched. So that they just find their happy spot. There we go. Did everybody find your happy place? Oh man, it would have been extra nice if that red just didn't... If I could have done that all in one little section instead of needing like 5 inches from another one, but oh well. All right, now that I've smushed along the line, I'm going to get the top and stitch it down. Now, the last time we sewed a scant 1/4 inch, this time we're going to be a little bit more generous, even though I know that I trimmed the insides down. I just want it to be as neat and nice as I might possibly be able to stitch it, which always is questionable. But yeah, I think we'll try next Sunday having a call-in have I'd say a live stitching bitch, but it's always a live stitching bitch. But we'll do a call-in show next week just to try it out. It's been a while since I've had guests. It's been it's been a really long time. And I think it might be fun to mix it up a little bit. All right, one leg almost done. Then what do we have to do? I have to attach the pleated portion to the other pantaloon leg. Overcast. Then, no. Yeah, okay. I forgot them. I forgot what I'm doing. I'm sewing, Phoenix. I'm sewing. Sew away, sew away, sew away. Sew away, sew away. Sew away. Okay, ooh. Yeah, I tried to stick stuff where it don't belong, and that would have been bad. Right. Oh gosh. Okay. So close, pin leg. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, one pant leg done. Let me trim some threads. Trimmity, trim. That's true. Don't leave it alone. It will haunt you. All right, let's turn these out. And let's step into a pant leg. Just one, because I only got one finished. Which is ooh, these are poofy. Oh yeah. These are pants like a dress. Oh, not bad. All right, one perfectly plumaged pant leg. Now I have to make another one. All right, I'm going to set you just over there. Here's the other pant leg, and here is the top. It's just that similar circle shape. It just needs the side seams and some trimming. Do we want to do the same red trim as the pants, or do we want to mix it up and use the silver trim? I think we're going to do silver on the top, because then I can tie it in if we wear this top with the silver skirt. Yeah, okay. That's what I'm doing. I've decided. All right, let's prepare for pant leg numero duo. And hopefully our brain won't get as kerfluffled as it did the last time. Did I use more than I why do I have this sinking feeling that I don't have enough pleats made for this portion? But there's only one way to find out, so I guess we're just going to start sewing and cross our fingers and toes and hope for the best. Maybe I should have pleated that final portion. Okay. All right. We're circling back to stitching pleated panel onto pant leg. I don't have enough. I know it. Do I really not have enough? Please tell me I have enough. Please, by the... Are you... And I think I'm short like 8 inches. Only 8 inches. You know what? We might be wrecked. That's okay. I wanted to try if you could sew the pleat in place and not have... And I was contemplating the notion of getting rid of that whole first step where I pleated all of the red section. If I could just pleat as I applied it to the project. And I wasn't brave enough to do 7 yards. But am I brazen enough to try it for 8 inches? You betcha. That is what I'm gonna do, because to be that close and to have to stop to pleat the whole thing and then, nah. Mm-mm. We are gonna try something different for that section. Ay, ay, ay. So close. So good. So close with my maths. Actually, that's not too to only be off to be 8 inches short. We've had projects where we've been like 80 yards off with what we needed to cut, so that's pretty good. We're getting there. Getting slightly better sometimes with our trim maths. Oh, right, because it did need a little bit, because I think the bottom length was like 66 inches, and each panel is only 60 inches. It doesn't matter. I've got a piece already hemmed, laying in wait, and I can try out that other technique all at the same time, so it's good. It's fine. We got this. The other piece is, how ambitious can I be? And will Dove want to actually use his... He's so generous to let me commandeer the living room. No, just drive the right way. Man, if I'd started with those velour pants, I could have had a whole pair of pants done by now. Those are just 3-seam. Well, we'll go with 3-seam wonders. Is there a few more? Yes, but not that much more. Okay. Alright, Phoenix, hurry up and get this part done so you can show everybody how to do the next part, because that's where the squiggly bits are. Oh, and then the part that I always fluff around on, sorting out the waistband section. Why do I hate waistbands? Waistbands are a waste. Yeah, I've got red ends. This much left where I ran out. But I see you taunting me, unpleated piece. Your time is nigh, Padawan. Okay, so momentarily we will get to show off what circling back to how to earlier pieces from today's program. The pleats. Okay, I'm going to get just about to the edge of this red section. Okay. Get to where the last pleat was stitched. There, that's the spot. Get the extra section. I want the wrong side up, but I want from this end, I'm going to trim those errant threads. I'm going to lay the new piece underneath the piece that's already been pleated. And I'm going to take this little fork here, slip the fabric, and turn away from me. Just the red layers. Do not touch the brown layer. Just leave it alone. Just don't even look at it right now. Just it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. What I am gonna do though. Oh, stop rolling away from me. All right, Phoenix. Use your gooder words. Gonna shove the fresh edge in. Gonna go back. All right, now I know I'm secured in there. All right. And then fork away from me. Underneath presser foot. Oh, fuck, why is... There we go. All right. After some flopping, a few curse words, reminding myself that we try to drive in the appropriate direction. So I'm just using this fork to hold the fabric to, in a measured manner, fold it away from me. Then we're going to stitch it down to itself and to the brown fabric all in one fell swoop. Oh my god, I'm hungry. Okay. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to be able to get this pleat done, and then I'm going to have to call it a show because the gremlins in my stomach are starting to have a protest. And if I don't fix that, you're going to have the grumpiest, hangriest of phoenixes. And I don't know if you should be subjected to that horrible version of me. So I've got just a few more minutes left. If I wasn't repulsed by eating and not, I also don't like A, having too much food by the sewing machine, and B, there's no sewing with food fingers. I guess it's not the most terrible to pleat as you attach, but I'm kind of glad that I did take the time to, for the most of it, pleat it separately and then attach it, just to make sure that those pleats are like extra stitched and reinforced on top of. Wow, I've got a lot of sewing I get to do either quietly by myself over the week or save a number of stuff for Wednesday. We'll probably do a little from each category, but I have to make sure I pick some stuff up, put some stuff down, and make sure that thing is not just my tea mug or my fork. All right, fork it good. We got 2 more pleats. Finish so folks can have some time with whatever else they're doing this Sunday. I really want it to be Saturday. Wow. Can I get another day of not having to do my day job? All right. That portion perfectly prepared. And I can find the pant leg, trim this red layer down. All right. I have 2 pant legs with ruffles. I guess the next step is the overcasting, then stitching that down, and then, oh, here's where the noisers are coming from. Getting distracted. All right, I have a whole pair of pants. All right, I've got a... Thank you so much, everybody. I had fun. I hope you had fun. 3 hours, that's not too shabby of a show for a little... And now we've 8 people. All right, fine. Just guilt me into sticking around a few more minutes. Let's do the overcaster. I love it. All right, let's do one more step. So I'm just going to finger my pant leg. We'll do a little seam finish. All right, but if I start seeing too much yellow, because I felt peer pressured into making sure that these pants were a little bit more prepared. Oh, yay. That is on me and not on you. All right. Let's get Great Overcaster back out again. Maybe I will. Should I? So what I'm going to do now is, I did earlier, just going to make these seams look a little bit nicer by running them under this fancy foot that does this fancy thing, and it moves the fabric back and forth over this little pokey piece to just hold edges together nicely. I'm just gonna stuff the fabric in, line everything up all nicely, and away we go. And I try to make sure if I'm not talking and I don't know what to say, close your mouth and put a smile on, kids. Nobody needs to see your open catching flies. No fly face. Okay. This is good. Might as well just get guilted into keep streaming. Because if I do it now, this is one less thing I have to do by myself later. Because I selfishly stream just to make sure projects get finished. Because then I'm not always jumping on to the next newest thing. Like Phoenix, they probably want to see you actually like finish something. And then I'm like, all right. But I want to cut something new, even though I've already got like 500 hours worth of sewing to do. But I want something new. Alright, just... What the fudge? Alright, I'm fighting with my overcaster foot. We're having some grumps. It's giving me the guffs. Alright, let's... Ooh, baby. It's just a little bit fiddly because I really don't want to sew layers errantly. Plus, because the pleats, there's just a lot going on right through this little fancy attachment. Am I stuck on something? Oh, I'm stuffing my face into the microphone again. Yeah. Okay, just stop fluffing and start stitching very carefully. Okay, just smile, don't grimace, because if you grimace, it knows you're worried. I just felt like something was stuck somewhere, and I didn't like that feeling. All right, let's try this again. All right, just stitch it and smile. Okay, super thrilling. Oh, it's the pleats. There's just so much going on here. It just wants to be everywhere except for where I'm telling it to be. Be nice to me, please. I'll be nice to you, but you're gonna be so nice making me look and feel so pretty. So pretty. Okay. Alright, we're almost there. Are we really almost there? Yeah, we are. Alright, I can get this overcasting done. I know, everybody's like, but Viva and Barnes is on. I know, you can go watch Viva and Barnes. Just trying to be careful where the fabric is, fluffing her along the edges. And I'm getting distracted by noises, and I have to tinkle, and all that jazz. And all that jazz. Do, 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 and all that jazz. All right, I'm gonna get to the end of this overcasting, and I'm out of here. So we got like 20 more inches. Gee. That's right. I keep forgetting this is also just the weight of all the fabric pulling is a lot. There's just so much going on. Okay, get under the fork. Just be done with you, please. I just need this section to be stitched. Just do it nicely. Okay, come on, there we go, baby. Oh, so close, so close. And I just have to top stitch, French seam this leg together, and then French seam the crotches, and then do a waistband sound. Eventually, we're so close with only like 500 more steps left. So close, but so far away. All right, we're getting there. All right, maybe I can do a little bit more. I've got a few more stitches in me. Since I've got so much stuff prepped, and have I finished a single garment today? No. That is kind of bumming me out. Because that means I don't have a new outfit to wear for tomorrow. Oh darn, I have to wear other clothes I made. Alright, just drive forward. Watch all the fabric. Ugh. Yikes. Weird. Making those chunky sounds on the feed dogs that terrify me so much. Okay, this step almost done. You can see the edge right underneath my left arm. The end is in sight, boys and girls. Whew. Are we going to be able to slip our fanny into a pair of pants? Like a little while here? Maybe. Sometimes it gets this chunky sound. There we go. Just keep trying to move to make sure that the fabric at the other end is like actually sliding along the feed dogs. There we go. Oh, just a little bit more. Oh, so close, boys and girls. So very, very close. This is not the nicest, but this is not... It'll be fine. We'll wash it gently. Maybe we'll hand wash, hand dry it. It doesn't need to be subjected to modern wash propaganda. Handmade stuff, it's all right to wash a little gently. Okay, just about done with the overcaster. Then we'll finger press the seam and stitch it down again. Okay, two legs ruffled, pleated. And where this section here, then that's where the legs go together. Yay! All right, let's get the top stitching done. Okay. Oh, that's right, Phoenix. You should give it a quick finger pull. There we go. All right. Oop. You know what helps? Changing out attachments. Thank you, Overcaster Foot. You work like a charm. Tighten your needle because this little fork on this attachment loves to unscrew needles. Be gentle. Thanks. Okay. I don't need to rush and be crazy. What I do need to is go through this drawer because there's random stuff that doesn't. Has other places it's supposed to be at. I need to tingle. All right, let's get. All right, okay, boys and girls, you peer pressured me. I stayed. I've got a few more stitches to do, but I need to stretch my legs and use the little circus room. Thank you so much, everybody who stopped by Slater Days Gaming. Welcome to the circus. I hope you had fun. Thanks everybody who shares, promotes, gets dropped off by other channels into into this ridiculous circus of shenanigans, cat acts, and just the amazing craziness that is in my brain. I will be back on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time so a whole bunch of the stuff that I didn't get through today. I should probably, during the week, I either need to do some stitching or not cut out new projects. But until then, don't wait until tomorrow to be fabulous today, and don't laugh at others unless you've laughed at yourself. All right, everybody, you've been great. I really appreciate you all. All right, have fun. I'm no long goodbyes. All right, goodbye. Mm-mm.